Hello, Steve White, Trek Boy 89 for Steve Arts 89. Now this is a bit sad. EagleMoss, which is otherwise known as Hero Collector, apparently is going out of business. There are some very bad signs that point to them going out of business. Basically, they made up to 68 million or something a few years ago, but now they're down to half of that, more than half of that, down to 31 million. So they're not doing well. So this is probably not a huge surprise, but they had been continuing to produce product and continuing to take pre-orders and start collections, so no one really saw it coming. But there's an article today at Trek Central, and they're saying that Greg Connell of InfoLink Gazette reported that EagleMoss Ltd has filed a notice of intention to appoint an administrator as of today, July 12, 2022. For those unsure what that means, an administrator is appointed to manage a company's affairs, business, and potentially, typically, this is one done under the Insolvency Act of 2012 of the United Kingdom law, where EagleMoss Ltd is based and registered. An administrator is appointed to rescue the company as a going concern. However, they may seek to achieve a better result for the company's credits as a whole than would be likely if the company were wound up without first being in administration. Additionally, they may be realizing the company's property in order to make a distribution to one or more secured preferential credits. So they could be trying to resuscitate it to sell it. They could be just trying to sort it out. But it looks like they made a lot of money, they were doing well, and they didn't manage, they had a decline, they didn't manage it, and now they are having financial problems. And there are a lot of Star Trek fans freaking out because, frankly, it's been one of the few consistent merchandising companies in the new Trek era. I mean, let's be real. Playmates tried to do Star Trek toys for the Star Trek films, that failed. They tried to do some weapons, that failed. There's been a bunch of attempts to do other series and lines that mostly failed. Some of the original Star Trek stuff has kept being produced, but most of the people who were involved before Discovery are all gone. EagleMoss was the only one that was continually doing stuff, but that seemed to be sort of undermined by a lot of Star Trek fans by the fact that they were like a, not conscription based, but they sort of made things to measure, like they sort of made to order, like how many they needed. They get in, I think that's how it was run, where they'd sort of have the pre-orders, they'd know what people wanted, and they'd make, so it's a low risk sort of, that's how it was explained to me, but I didn't look into it. I didn't go down that rabbit hole. There are one or two ships that I thought were interesting that I thought I'd like to have, but I just didn't go down that rabbit hole. I bought all the PDFs. I got a Humble Bundle recently, and I got all the PDFs of all the books where they collected all the magazines and stuff. Because I got the first couple just because they're cheap, and I usually get the first couple of each Star Trek Part Works just to have the magazine explaining the whole series and just an example of it. And I don't often continue getting them unless they're really interesting. They were also, I believe, doing the graphic novel collection, which I just discovered went from... originally it was 120 books, then it went to 140 volumes, and to finish it they would have had to go to 160 volumes, but they didn't finish. That was the first clue I had they were having problems, and I just noticed that like 3 days ago. I'm like, well, why on earth didn't they finish? Then I looked, and of course the last few years they've lost money have gone through the you-know-what, and it's just so funny that after, mid to late 2020 they started to have problems. So it's probably part of that, but I can't talk about that, of course. But yeah, it's a bit sad. But the little part of me that hates New Trek fans kind of is glad, because it was the one thing that hold over us when we'd say the merchandising, nothing was selling anymore. That no one bought, items for the New Trek shows. They'd all say EagleMoss toys, and I'm like, yes, they make toys. They make toys for original Star Trek, New Trek, they do both. And if they're gone, there's kind of nothing left for the New Trek fans, because I can't see anyone wanting to finance any New Trek toys or anything. So it's just going to continue to be the small amount of companies that are involved with producing original series, like from the original Universe toys, I can't see anyone else doing them. I mean, there was some attempt to do some of the new ones with Playmates, but I still haven't seen them yet. And there is apparently some attempt to do some Prodigy toys, but no one's seen them yet either. So I don't know what's happening there. But it is a bit sad because one of the things I love is Starships, and just immersing yourself in this fictional, technological world, and having the magazines and all the artwork and everything really helps you to escape into that reality. And it's something I always wished I had more of when I was growing up. I had the fact files when I was a bit older, but I just had the technical manual when I was a kid. That's it, the old 1980s one. I think I got the 90s 25th anniversary version one, but it's, you know, it was made then, and that was sort of all we had. So this was good. I did actually appreciate it, but I did resent it a little bit because they made Discovery toys, and I kind of felt like they were sort of, you know, working for the enemy. I don't know, because I don't buy any New Trek stuff, and I kind of stopped buying some general Star Trek stuff just to sort of, you know, protest with my dollar, so to speak. So I've only gotten a few Star Trek things in the last couple of years. But yeah, it is a bit sad though, because it probably wasn't a lack of interest in New Trek because they didn't just make New Trek toys. So it really was probably just the business side of things and the you-know-what causing havoc in a lot of businesses. So yeah, it's just a bit sad to see it go for that reason, not because it just finished its run or fans lost interest. It's probably more to do with the current crisis that we're living through. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think or any other news that you might hear, because this is just, I mean, it's speculation what they're going to do. It is possible to come out of administration and for companies to sort themselves out and continue going on, or to be sold on and to have whatever they do continue on and so forth. It may not be the end, really, but it's looking pretty bad. So yeah, I'm going to go.